Okay, welcome back, guys. So we want to construct the route that processes a form when someone clicks pay installment. But okay, as I was taking the break off, I realized there is something also here in the balance. Need to find a way of displaying the balance. So the route that displays this form is this route that displays a single student from the database. This route, this is a route that displays a single student. So in this route, I'm going to declare a constant here. Okay, let me call it let, since it, no, but it's a constant since it's going to be constant really. Const, I'm going to call it total, and I'm going to place a value. So the total amount someone is supposed to pay is supposed to be 1.5 million. This is bad practice to hard code values in the code. These values should be coming from the database, and there should be an interface for the admin to set these values. But in the interest of time, I'm going to just hard code them here. Then over time, we can always create interfaces for them and then retrieve them from the database. But for now, just to illustrate calculations within the server. So this is the total. So at this point, when we have declared the total, and then we go into the database and we find by ID, and then we store all the fields concerning learner in learner. So after that, immediately I want to come here and I carry out a subtraction for balance. So let's say balance, let it also be a, no, not a constant. So I'm going to make it let, call it balance. So the reason I'm not using constant because it's going to be changing. Balance is equal to total, then minus. So from here, we get our data stored in learner, and in particular, we're interested in a field called tuition plan. Tuition plan. So if you remember, the field called tuition plan is the field which stores this value that the student has paid so far. Learner.tuition plan is bringing an error. Okay, here we needed an equals sign. So here we have balance is equal to the total minus learner.tuition plan. So it's going to subtract what the student has paid for her so far. That's what I've called tuition plan for now. The variable names are not making sense for now, but let's understand the concept. So when we store it in balance, so here when we render a pag file, we say we are rendering learner and we are sending some information to it. So the first set of information is all the learner fields stored in X. So I'm going to add on another set of fields. So I'm going to call this balance, and in that variable balance, I want to store the balance. Hope this, okay, let me make this Y so that it somehow helps us to understand the concepts better. So balance, so the value of balance here is going to be sent to pag using a variable called Y. So in pag we shall access it using a variable called Y. So here in balance here we can display we can use our backtick character, and then we display Y. That's all. So we come over here and then we refresh. Okay, so it's displaying just plain Y. Okay, we're supposed to put this in Ctrl X $sign, since we are rendering a value from the server. So here, once we refresh again, so it has calculated the total which is 1.5 million minus what the student has paid so far. So let's just quickly punch that into our calculator. So if the total is 1.5 5 million, and then we subtract what the student has paid so far, 350, 1, 2, 3. Good. So this will give us that the balance is 1.15 that the student has to pay. That came up in mind when I was just playing with my son. He woke up and I had to play with him for a while. Okay, that's my wife asking me. She's also holding fort. She's doing some work, but anyway, let me try to process the last one. Install amount, and then we process it from where is that variable? Router post, this one here. So is it already async? Yeah, it's async. So let's put there a try catch. So we have put our try catch. So when we receive, number one, we want to receive this amount that the student has paid, and then add it to the tuition plan and save that. So the first thing that we have to do is create a variable, fees paid. Let me call it fees paid const fees paid is equal to, so we want to subtract two values. We want to add what the student has paid, installment amount, to the tuition plan. So here we need to get our rec.body installment. What is the name of that field? Installment amount does not have a name, so we need to give it a name. Is it there in our models? In our models, do we only have tuition plan? Are we going to store it? No, we are not going to store it, so it doesn't need to be in the model. We're not going to store it in the database. So we come back in learner, but we need to receive it in the server. So installment amount, let's call it here name, is equal to installment amount, so we shall send it over. So let's refresh this and just okay, let's view one student unable to connect. What could have been the problem? Did the server go down? Let's check over here. So the server has a problem on the catch. Rec.body, let's comment that out for now. Let's view one person. Let's go to developer options. I just want to confirm that it's called the name. Input type submit, value is per installment. Let's refresh it. So the input installment amount, so that's the name of that field. Okay, we can take out the developer options, so we can use it here, and then uncomment that rec.body installment amount. Then we are going to add something. We're going to add to tuition plan. So tuition plan, where we're retrieving it at this point, we can get it from learner tuition plan. Let's give this name and call it tuition plan since we are receiving it from this point, not from the database. So this is tuition plan. Okay, also come over here, rec.body plus tuition plan. This is not a good, it's always better to first put these things in variables. So let's say const, this one might be changing. Also this one has to be, I can't say constant since these are some of, but when I use let, it will be a private variable. So let installment amount equal to, then I put this one over here, rec.body, control X, control V. Then over here we say let, so we want to add on the tuition plan, and we're going to say rec dot body dot tuition plan. So this tuition plan is the one that we are going to receive from here, tuition plan, and we want to store these two in variables. And after storing them in variables, then we come over here, fees paid, and then we use the variables. We use installment amount. Oh, okay, tuition plan. Let me begin with tuition plan. What's already there? Tuition plan, which is this one, 350 that the student has already paid, plus installment amount, the one that they have paid on that day. So installment amount, that's going to be the new let fees paid. So this is going to be our field for fees paid. But so we want this value to replace fees paid. I want it to replace tuition plan. That will be the, okay, I'm not creating a new variable just for time. You can always create a new field here, but I want to just be replacing what's here on tuition plan with fees paid. So this value will be increasing as a student. Each time a student pays, this value changes. So with that in place, let fees paid. So let's console log this just to see. Let's console log fees paid. Why isn't it displaying fees paid? Okay, over there. So installment amount, let's say the student, they have added on 50,000. Then let them pay that installment. So let us see what is it displaying? Okay, so there is a problem. It's saying it's console logging undefined and 50,000. So in the first place, installment amount is the 50,000 we have entered over here, and then undefined is tuition plan. So why is tuition plan undefined? It's able to pick up the installment amount, but it's not able to pick up the tuition amount. It's saying undefined. So tuition amount, why is it saying undefined? Tuition amount, tuition plan. Then here we use tuition plan, rec.body.tuition plan. Then here input type text value. So the value is tuition plan, the name is tuition plan, and over here rec.body tuition plan, and it's saying undefined. Last time we got such an error, it was because of body parser. Why is it saying undefined tuition plan? Do we have a value here? Yes, we have a value here. Okay, let's try to view just tuition plan alone, or just the entire rec.body. Let's try to display rec.body, resend, and then we view this in the terminal. So it's only showing installment amount 50,000. So it's not able to pick up the other. So it's able to pick up this one, name is equal to installment amount, and then this one, it cannot pick this value, tuition plan. Okay, let me try to first enter it, Control X, try to enter it manually. I'm trying to troubleshoot. Let me save this page again. So this time round, why is it like this? Okay, need to make this empty, save this again, save that again, bootstrap. So tuition plan, let's say, let me put 40,000 pay installment, and then we view if it's showing the 40,000. So it's showing the 40,000 if I enter it manually, but if it's a value coming from PAG, Control V, put that back again, it will not display. So let's stop that, let's refresh it. Let's refresh it. Tuition plan is supposed to be, let's fetch this, it's supposed to be 350,000, and then let's pay an installment of 4123. Let's view this. So this time round it seems it's viewing both, is it? So what was the problem? Let's reload this. This is interesting. I can't now tell what the problem was. Probably when I refreshed, I reloaded, something happened. But let's fetch this student again, and that student, the plan is that let's pay an amount of 400. 1, 2, 3. Pay amount. Then let's see. So it's picking both there. Tuition plan 350. Okay, if that is happening, that's good news. Let's come to user. I don't know where the problem was. I just kept clicking and doing things around. So inside here, so is our fees paid getting the right value? So we can put fees paid, and then we try again. Come here, reload. So let's say this is going to add 400,000 and 350 pay installment. Come over here. So 350 and 400. It's not adding these two. It's just combining the numbers. Okay, it's because it's not seeing them as integers. That would be, so how do we JavaScript, how do we pass an integer? How do we get any value and turn it into an integer? So it is pass int. So we come over here and we make this pass int, pass int. So this method is going to convert whatever you put inside it into an integer. Let's come over here and we cut that, then we pass int and we paste in our value, and then we come back here and we, mind is freezing, and we pay an installment. So 350, let me put another 350 so that it makes the 700. 1, 2, 3, 350 pay installment. So when we view it here, wow, this is good. So it's able to add. So we need to save this 700,000 into the database as the new amount for tuition plan. Okay, so I no longer need this console log. I know that let me delete it. I know that fees paid has the right amount. So let me use this video of this guy. There is a certain video that helped to where is Ned? I was in home building an API. So this video is the one that's going to guide me on how to do what, how to update a value. So that's going to be where you use the patch. Yes, so this is where he used a patch. This is where he used a patch. Let me pause it and also try to use a patch. So here he used dot post. He used dot patch. So const update post is equal to await. So we come over here, we create a constant, and I'm going to call it what? Update fees. Update fees. And I'm going to give it an await since it's going to the database. And then I say our user model that's going to save into the database is called user model, the model dot, and we want to do just like he has done in the video, update one. I'm going to do update one, and we have to provide some information. So the first set of information is in the database. We need to, which record are we accessing in the database? So ID, and that record is rec. It's coming from here. It's coming from name over here. It's coming from name rec.body.id. So the name is going to be equal to underscore ID. Okay, let me call it student ID, so that we can see what is happening, just using different variable names. So ID is going to come rec.body.student ID. So that's going to be the ID, and then comma, the value that we want to set. That value is going to be, so we use a $sign set, and then the value that we want, the values, but first we have one. So in the database, that value is called what? The value is called tuition plan. That's the value that we want to affect. So it's called tuition plan, and the new value that we're going to place there is fees paid. So fees paid is going to be the new value for that. Okay, then after that, if this everything has gone well, if everything has not gone well, let's console log the error. Let us log the error in case we get any problem. But if all goes well, then we redirect, and we reload that same page. Redirect, and we reload. Redirect to which one? To the list, all students. This one, redirect to all students. So it's res.redirect. Oh, this has jumped. Res.redirect is over here. So res.redirect, and then we want to go to all students, which shows the list. Okay, we redirect to all students. Okay, hope this works. So let's come over here. Let's reload this. Okay, so this guy has paid, so let's put a different number. So this guy has paid 350,000, and today he's going to pay 200,000. Let's pay installment. It redirects to the list. Let's view. So when we view, so the numbers have changed a bit. So what that means is that previously he had paid 350,000. So previously he had paid 350,000, and today he added on 200,000, which means yes, this is great, because 550,000. So far he has paid 550,000, and his balance is 950. So let's subtract this from 1.5 million. So if the total is supposed to pay is 1.5 million, so 1.5, then we subtract what he has paid so far, which is 550,000. So 950. So it's working great. it's working great. Let's say today he pays 50,000, he pays another 50,000. Click on 50, pay installments, come over here, view. Yes, so it has registered that he has paid the 50,000 and the balance is 900,000. So what if he pays the 900,000 and pay installment, view. Great. This student has finished his tuition fees. Okay, I was very fast because I wanted to finish in time. Need to give my family attention, but in case you have not understood, yeah, you can just raise me on WhatsApp. Okay, thanks guys for following. Have a nice evening.